Hey, hi, how's it going? I'm Kenneth, and I just woke up from sleeping on the floor in the living room. It's a good nap. Today we're going to talk about Carcassonne. Carcassonne. It's a tile laying game. It's kind of complicated, but it's also really easy at the same time. So I'll do my best to explain it. I'm going to break this one down into chunks, kind of like I normally do, but even more specifically so. First chunk, what is Carcassonne? It's named after the medieval French town that was famously fortified. Does that have anything to do with Attack on Titan? I feel like that has something to do with Attack on Titan. Oh, totally. The city in Attack on Titan is a little bit inspired by Carcassonne, says Google. Anyway, and the game was designed by this German-sounding guy, Klaus-Jürgen Rede, and the artist is this lady named Doris Matthäus. I only know that because I was looking at the box while I was playing the game, and they actually put a little picture of the artist and the designer on the box, which is kind of cool. I don't recall seeing that ever on a board game. It is, in fact, a game where you place tiles onto a table. There is no board, and then you place... Oh god, how do I explain? Okay, it is a game where you draw tiles randomly and place them on the table. There is no board, and you slowly create a beautiful landscape. And as you go, you earn points by potentially claiming features that are on each of these tiles. That's basically the gist. You try to collect points as you go throughout the game. There are 4 features that are potentially on a tile. A tile can have 1 or more features on it at a time. There are 4 features: city, road, monastery, or grass. And each of these 4 features can appear by itself or along any number of other features on a single tile. So for example, on a single tile there may be just grass, or grass and road, or grass and road and city, or grass and city, etc, etc, etc. There are a number of combinations that can appear. Each of these features corresponds to a unit, basically. This game comes with a bunch of little wooden tokens called meeples. Not meat pulls like I thought my brother said originally. Meeples, like me and the word people. So this game has a scoreboard, and the objective is to try to have the most points by the end of the game. So it's kind of an exercise in planning, or it's kind of like a light investing exercise. Each of these features corresponds to a type of unit, which your meeples become. And those units are knight, corresponding to the city, thief, corresponding to the road, monk, corresponding to the monastery, and farmer, corresponding to the grass. There's a dead fruit fly on my desk. Just gonna... yeah. Each of these features and units score differently. So the city scores you 2 points per tile when you have completely completed a city. For example, the city can be as small as 2 tiles or as big as like 15 tiles, and it'll be 2 points per tile either way. Now that's during the game. If we come to the end of the game, which is when all the tiles are drawn, and you haven't completed a city, you get only 1 point per city tile. And how that works is, if you complete the city, you score the points now. If you don't complete the city, you score the points at the end of the game. The road, you score 1 point either way. Say your road is 3 tiles long, you get 3 points if you complete it, or at the end of the game, if it's incomplete and that's how many tiles there are in your road, you get 3 points. The monastery is a little different. You get 1 point per surrounding piece, so there's a total possible 9 points you can score with the monastery, whether it be upon completion or whatever is left at the end of the game if you didn't complete the 9. Either way, it's 1 point per tile surrounding that monastery. To score, you have to place your meeples to convert them into these units. The meeples then stay on the playing field for as long as that feature is incomplete. So if you put down a unit to become a thief, they stay a thief until that road is complete. So in this way, you can either try to cash in multiple times throughout the play, and say you put down a meeple, he becomes a thief, you quickly lay down a few road tiles over your next few turns to have it close, then you get those points then, and you take your meeple back, and you can then reuse that meeple for another thing down the road. Each player gets 8 meeples, and you have to use them wisely. Now the grass is the big game changer. Grass points are not counted until the very end of the game, and how it works is you get 3 points for each completed city bordering your fields, which is a little bit confusing, but it ends up being lots of points at the end of the game if you luck out and have many completed cities surrounding where your farmer is standing. So that's the big payoff. It's 3 points per, but the difference is you don't get your meeple back at all. So if you start playing farmers, you will not get any points until the end of the game, so it can be a little bit scary. You kind of leave your points in the hands of everyone playing around you. So that's the gist of how to play this game. Each turn, you draw a tile, you place the tile, and you choose whether or not you want to claim a feature if you have meeples or not, or you can just place the tile and try to expand existing features you have. Each player gets 8 meeples. There are 5 colors, so you can have 2 to 5 players. The game has a lot of strategy sort of involved, but it still flows very quickly. It's very intuitive once you get the hang of it, and this sort of like a long-term investing thing where it's like, do you want 1 marshmallow now or 10 marshmallows later? That's like kind of the hard-hitting point of the game, and it's pretty fun. I really enjoyed it, and it's just cool to see how the playing field expands in this really weird way as you go sometimes. There are a couple really funny things that can happen because you can in fact close a city with just 2 tiles. So you get this hilarious looking little circle city, which really messes up whoever was trying to build a huge city. Or you can build roads that go nowhere. If you just place 4 L-shaped roads circling each other, you get 4 points, but then on the map there's just this stupid looking circle road. This game's cool. The art is very kind of, I don't want to call it simplistic, but it's very cool, like cute. It's very, simplistic is the word. It looks like what I used to draw in class when I was doodling, little cool little towns and roads and stick people. Kind of looks like that. And the tokens, the meeples, are actually made of wood, which is also really cool in my opinion. It's nice to play a game with no dice every once in a while. And this is one that has no dice. There was also this weird thing that came out of the box. This game we played, we borrowed it from a game shop. Neither of us owned this one. And we couldn't quite figure out, maybe I didn't see it in the instructions, but it came with this tower looking thing, and we just put the tiles in there. But if anyone knows what it's actually for, or if it's for the tiles thing, let us know, because it's cool, but it just seems so out of nowhere, and it took up a lot of retail space in the box. I'm sure it didn't come built, but in our box it was built already. Final thoughts on this game? It is fun. It is really fun. I'm excited to play it again in the future because it's just interesting. It's got a little bit of luck, and it's got a little bit of strategy, and it's just friendly kind of competition, and it's fun to see if choices you make 20 minutes ago affect you positively or negatively 20 minutes later. The game is $41 on Amazon, that's Canadian. It's a little steep, but it's fun, and there's also, I hear, an expansion pack that adds stuff to it, which is cool. I'm excited to try that out. The pros for Carcassonne: fast pace, no setup time whatsoever, quick to learn, cool wooden tokens. Cons: I kind of wish there could be more. I think the base box should come with more tiles, because when we ended I was like, oh man, I thought we had more tiles to play, but I understand that that's a realistic limitation. I think there's 70 tiles in the base set, and I believe there's 70 tiles in the base set, but I was just thinking if you had a full 5 players playing, there was only 3 of us playing, if you had 5 players playing this game, the game would end so quickly, because, you know, just go around the table a few times and suddenly there's no more tiles and we're counting the scores. So I wish the base set had more tiles, and 70 just seems so random to me. Why not 100? If you're at 70, just add 30 more, you got 100 tiles, and then you can choose to remove however many tiles as you want to. You can't choose to add more if you don't have more. So that's Carcassonne. I really enjoyed this game actually. Really fun to play. This is a game that I probably will pick up if I ever find it. Quick playtime. Its setup is easy. You just clear the table, stack the tiles up, and you're ready to play again. That's it. Final verdict on Carcassonne: 2 thumbs up.
Tastes like nectar.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, like the video, and leave a comment below about that whole weird tower thing if you know about it. And if you have your own favorite board game, I'd love to hear about it. Maybe it'll be the next video. See ya! Carcassonne!